So as far as chipping from over here to this pin right here, I'd rather leave it, I'd rather get it by the hole and right of the hole and have an uphill putt, which isn't going to break very much, than they'll leave it, left of the hole and I still have a downhill putt. The more severe slope that we get on this becomes more crucial. But what people do is they don't quite think one shot ahead of the next shot, and then they put the ball in the wrong spot, and then they end up hitting a bad putt, and then blaming it on their stroke, and then they put themselves in a very tough spot. So just identifying where to put our ball is going to make it a lot easier. And then just as far as reading greens, I'm putting uphill. These are slower, they're obviously slower, but they're not going to break as much. Way easier to make. When I start moving to the sides, I'm just looking for features, so the ball is going to break away from a high point and towards a low point. And this is obviously pretty easy to see right here, but when you're out there playing, it's going to be way more subtle and you got to pick up on it. And even when you're walking on the green, you can actually feel it in your feet somewhat. Actually, when you get closer to the hole, the slope on the green. So, and then the speed also changes the amount the putt's gonna break. So I can play this at the softest speed. That ball's gonna break, probably almost 2 feet. But if I hit this ball very hard, it's not gonna break very fast. So that's why we want to work on all these things, getting the speed correct, starting it online. Putting up from a low to a high, that's going to be a pretty straight putt. So I'm kind of trying to find my if it was a clock, the lowest spot, if we're putting to this hole here, that's like 6 o'clock. That's going to be a straight putt, and I can kind of judge the rest of my breaks off of that. So the more I come on this side, they're going to break left to right. The more I come on this side, if we're on a planer surface, once we get into like little slopes and all that, but for the most part, if we can find the straight putt, we can kind of base the breaks off of that. But why don't we have everyone kind of, I think we'll break up, we'll try to read some putts, see if we know what we're doing, and if we can identify why we're either doing it correctly or not doing it correctly. So we'll start from there. But